What's up? What's up? Um, Yesterday on my first account, the username that I go up on the Clarence Ray YouTube. That's the very name that I do. I upload most of my videos over there. I don't hardly be on these accounts here, but I have something that I want to bring to you first and foremost. I haven't put a video up over here in 3 months. This is the first video that I ever put up within 3 months. Now every day and every other day, I'm always on my first account. And today we're going to be discussing just for a few minutes a topic on the Bible, and that is coming from the book of Genesis. And in the book of Genesis, we're coming from chapter 4. This is coming from chapter 4. Now, keep in mind, I'm not a religious person. I'm not a Christian. I'm not any of that stuff. I'm beyond Christianity. I don't subscribe to Christianity. I don't subscribe, but I do believe in a higher power. But there are some things that I do. There are a whole lot of things that just been messed up over the centuries. Excuse me, with the Bible, and I'm trying to work my way and find my way back to where, excuse me, where I'm trying to actually bring myself to, into the right place. But if you look at Genesis 1, it talks about the creation. It talks about in the beginning. Now, it didn't talk about his beginning. It talked about he created. That's when he started creating. In the beginning, he wasn't created. So there wasn't no beginning with him, because it says in the beginning he created. In the beginning, the higher power created. In the beginning, he created. So it's just say in the beginning, that's what he did. But in chapter in Genesis 2, since we this is the channel for discussing the Bible, I normally don't be on a topic like this here. I speak on police brutality and the injustice of black people, but that's not the topic for this video, because on this channel we talk strictly about biblical things, and question it. But anyway, it goes on in Genesis 1. It talks about how he created the sun, the moon, and stars, the light and the day, and how he named, no, excuse me, not named, but he numbered every day. It had a number, and he created everything, and then he created the birds and the fish and all that. Then it went on to talk about how he said, let us make man, and all that kind of stuff. He talked about all those things in the book of Genesis. He said, let us make man in our image, and that was the black Hebrew nation of people, and I'll come back and do a long discussion about get into the heavier details with that, but I'm not going to have time tonight because I got to get up and go to work in the morning. But I'll be back. I'm going, I'll be back within, I don't know when, but in Genesis 3, he starts with the giving them. He started off with the story of how he talked about the serpent was more beautiful. Then he went on. I'm gonna go ahead and make the long story short. Then it goes on and there, and then he tells Adam and Eve. He give them a warning down in verse 3 and verse 3. He said in verse 2. No, in verse 1, he give them a warning, and in chapter 3, he's telling them why he gives the explanation, don't eat of the tree, and then he tell them why. He said, if you do, you will die. That's the warning. That means destruction will come upon you. Stuff like that. All right, I'm gonna have to skip because I'm not gonna have time to get into the whole thing. But leave your comments below and tell me what you think, because, like I said, I'm not into Christianity. I moved far away from Christianity, but I realize that we're just what I'm not claiming to call myself any of that. I'm just gonna be honest. But it goes on. I have questions. I'm gonna talk about what those questions are. But he talks about the fall. He tells them that the don't things to do and not to do. He tells them don't do it, and he tells them what the consequences are. Then he told them what the consequence, since they did do what he told them not to do. Then he said they would suffer consequences or whatever. Then it went on in 4. He talked about in 4 how Cain. Now here's the part that I want to mention. All the other race of people, all the genetics, they're the characters. When it says they begin to have children, all of them, it gave the names of each one of their wives. But if you notice, if you look in Genesis 4, he's not talking about Cain's wife. In Genesis 4, as it goes on and it reads, he talks about, he said, and Adam knew his wife Eve, and all that, he knew his wife Eve. But when it got to Cain, he said, and Cain conceived and bare his children. Cain, it didn't say, and Cain knew his wife, and it just said Cain, and he knew it. I mean, excuse me, he said he knew his wife, but it didn't say Cain and his wife. He knew his wife, and his wife's name was. And if you look in Genesis, like I said, I'm not gonna have time to just get off into the whole thing. But like I said, there's a whole lot more that I want to discuss with this here, and I'm not gonna have time to just get into all of this here because this is a lot. You know what I mean? But I have questions about the Bible. There are still some things that I'm battling with. You know what I mean? I'm battling with. I'm just battling. I'm not a Christian. I'm battling with using and saying things that I shouldn't be saying, foul language or whatever you want to call it. Yeah. So I'm not there yet, but that's it. But I'm not Christian. I'm not any of that. I'm not no Muslim. I'm non-denominational. But I just believe in a higher power. That's all I can tell you. But I'm not a Christian. And I just want to make sure I put that out there. I'm not going to stand here and tell y'all that lie like I'm the perfectest person on this planet. And like I've been good. I'm the best thing since sliced macaroni and cheese. I'll be lying to you. So I'm not going to do that. But I'm not going to get off into the whole thing because I'm pushing for time right now. And I got to get up and head out in the morning, because I got to go to work in the morning. So just leave your thoughts and tell me what you want me to speak on. What are your questions? What are your thoughts about this Christianity stuff? If you want to know where Christianity came from, I can definitely get off into that. We can get off in that, and I'll just be as honest as I possibly can with you all. First and foremost, I would. So I'm gonna see y'all later. Y'all have a good night. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Peace. Much, much love to my African black people.